In today's video, I compare two of Ireland's biggest airlines, Ryanair and Aer Lingus, flying from London Stansted to Dublin with Ryanair, and back from Dublin to London Heathrow with Aer Lingus. My first trip report, I hope you enjoy. Be sure you stay to the end to find my opinion out. Hello everyone, welcome to my first trip report. Today I'm flying Ryanair over to Dublin from London Stansted. Join me in the later part of the video to fly back to London Heathrow. Like all trip reports, it started on the train, going from Norwich to London Stansted. Pretty comfortable train journey today, I can't lie.
Stansted Airport, this train will now terminate here.
It was packed at Stansted, not as busy as pre-pandemic Easter, but coming up to Easter it was very, very busy. Excuse the shaky camera here. Security was quite quick though, 5 minutes, but the meal deal, well, it's extortionate. Duty free is just London Stansted's duty free, nothing extraordinary, you know how it is, walk through about 80,000 shops. As you can see, my flight, I did arrive about 2.5 hours early to the airport, so I had plenty of time. Spare, perfect to get a bottle of water, which I got for £1 from WH Smith if I bought something. I'm here at London Stansted Airport for my first trip report in over 2 years. Today I'll be flying Ryanair over to Dublin, my first international flight since the pandemic begun. Let's see if it goes alright. You can see we've got a Ryanair 737 behind us over there. It is literally a hub for 737s. I'm quite excited for this flight. Stansted has been pretty pleasant already today. Security very quick. Duty-free wasn't too busy, and I even managed to pick up a bottle of water for £1, so you can't really complain there. I hope you enjoy today's trip report. Certainly going to be new and a very different type of video for me. So yes, that was my first bit to the camera, pretty awkward in an airport. Here I am with my first half pint of Guinness, ready for Dublin. As you can see, as I said there, Ryanair literally owns this airport. I mean, I don't even think I'm exaggerating there. There's 737s everywhere. You can also spot a 737 MAX in the background at a part of this video. And indeed, a special livery on the 737 that kind of mixes Boeing house covers with Ryanair. Boarding was pretty swift. I'll talk about prices once we're up in the air. It's Ryanair, you can't expect too much. I was boarding at the front of the aircraft with my seat being 8F today. Ryanair's cabins have got better over the years. They're not so yellow anymore, but it's Ryanair. I paid £40 in total for my seat over to Dublin today. Pretty rudimental. Tray table, my bag down there. I only brought one bag. Pretty nice legroom, but I'm kind of used to Ryanair. I really do like it. And there was the 737 I was talking about. Yeah, it's certainly interesting. Let's get on with the flight now. I'll cut away to some music so you can stop hearing my annoying voice. But it was a pretty good flight, I can't lie. We did arrive on time, as you'll see later. Weather at Stansted was pretty similar to weather at Dublin, so you don't get any extraordinary views today. It's just, it was quite a quick and relaxing flight. I didn't even have to buy a drink or anything. I just kind of sat back, relaxed and filmed some bits, really. That was it. hope you like the time lapse there. Stansted did look pretty good. Now we reached our cruising altitude of 33,000 feet, if my memory is right. It was pretty nice. Ryanair do try and sell you scratch cards on flight and duty free, which is quite annoying for a flight time of just under an hour. I mean, it came in at 55 minutes. But soon enough, we were over Ireland, straight over the Irish Sea, before that passing over Liverpool. No turbulence on the way here. There was, however, on the way back, but we were flying with Aer Lingus there. Ireland was a really beautiful place to visit. I enjoyed my time in Dublin, doing a few of the touristy things and not so touristy things. But yeah, you don't really get the beauty of it here, but it is a really beautiful place. Landing was also classic Ryanair style. So welcome to Dublin Airport. It's my first time flying into Ireland, my first time flying internationally since before coronavirus. It was nice to see some other aircraft, being quite frank. Coming from Stansted, yeah, it's just filled with 737s there, but here we had plenty of A330s, even an ATR, quite a few ATR to be fair. It was quite nice to see. So overall, it was a really good Ryanair flight. I'll be concluding at the end of the video, but it was certainly cheap and cheerful. Dublin Airport, quite a walk. I arrived at Terminal 2. Minus the hard landing, it was a punctual and comfortable Ryanair flight. I'm now going to cut over to a cinematic of Dublin. Quite touristy, it was very cold. So I think there's enough of that. It was great fun, I really enjoyed it. A few days later, time to head back to the airport. I got the bus. Dublin is a city of buses. They are literally everywhere, and you can also pick up a Leap card, which is a tourist card, really cheap to travel all around the city. It really didn't take long to get from my hotel to the airport. Terminal 1 now, a very modern terminal primarily used by Aer Lingus and some American airlines. I was doing self-check-in today. I didn't use my phone like I do with Ryanair. Basically because I wanted a paper boarding pass. To my shock, for someone that's never used a self-check-in service, it was only a little paper slip, not one of the cardboard or card-like ones you get from the boarding desk, or check-in desk I should say. Here it comes, there we go, I'll pull it out. Yeah, I was disappointed at this point, I couldn't lie. I wanted the proper card one, but oh well. Now it's time to head up to security. Now the big media story of the time was the 3 to 4 hour wait for security. It certainly wasn't the case for me. It took 10 minutes once we were up there. And I did pay a bit more for my Aer Lingus flight, I'll explain that later. But I paid about £50 UK for this one, so £10 more than Ryanair. But here we are through security. Duty free, quite similar to Stansted, but I guess that's just airport duty free. I haven't been in one for 2 years, so this was yeah, I mean it is what it is. I did end up getting conned into buying some whiskey for my dad. He didn't really like it, so it is what it is. But yeah, plenty to do in Dublin Airport, although quite a bit still being worked on it seems. A few weird shots I got here, I thought they looked cool, maybe a bit too set up. This one definitely was, but yeah, it looked quite cool, so I kept it in there. The flight back home to London today was in an Aer Lingus A320. Boarding was quick, plane left 5 minutes later than scheduled. But yeah, I found the A320 much more comfortable. Maybe it's a placebo, but it does feel a bit bigger than the 737 in terms of width. I did have priority boarding, which didn't really do anything as normal. But it just felt a bit more premium inside. Maybe it's the seat cushion that did it, but it was a lot more comfortable, and for £10 I'd certainly say it was worth the upgrade. But again, it's only a 55-minute flight. I did pay extra to fit this bag in though, however, which actually Ryanair let me in for free. A cool view of the Aer Lingus old livery, which is much better than the Euro white one. Here you can see the cabin, it's very nice, and of course we've got an Aer Lingus A330 that was heading off to Orlando right next to us. I love that livery. Sadly I was in the horrible Euro white one that I hated so much I actually forgot to get a video of. I'll speed it up. The crew on board were very friendly, certainly very considerate of me filming. One even asked, am I filming crews takeoff or landing? I said all of them. But let's get up in the air now. It's a pretty quick takeoff as well, straight onto the runway, straight up in the air. No messing about with Aer Lingus, maybe trying to make up those last 5 minutes. The cabin wasn't as packed as Ryanair, which maybe also added some room. It didn't feel as claustrophobic, but I gotta be honest, Ryanair wasn't too bad either. And there we are, up in the air. Dublin's beautiful. You get to see a bit more mountain than you did when we were coming in with Ryanair, but pretty similar weather conditions. It didn't take long to get over to the Irish Sea, then over Liverpool, like we are here. A bit of turbulence over the Irish Sea. At that moment I awkwardly tried to pour a Coke. That was just poor timing. People were worried, to be fair, but the approach was something else. If you can guess where we are based off those reservoirs, I salute you. You'll figure it out in a minute when you'll see a very recognisable airport. Yes, of course, it's the beautiful city of London, our destination today. That was looking more to the Stratford area, which we're overhead here. Notice London City in the background there, of course a very recognisable airport, with the Queen Elizabeth Bridge in the background and the Thames Barrier down right in the centre of the screen now. The sky did clear up a bit, allowing for a bit of a beautiful view, but I gotta be honest, I sat on the wrong side of the plane. If I was sitting on the other side, I would have got an awesome view of London. I'll see you guys on the ground. So a much better landing from the Aer Lingus pilots compared to the Ryanair pilot, but I'm not here to start a competition. Wrapping up, I'd say I did feel more comfortable on the Aer Lingus plane, but Ryanair was £10 cheaper and I was only flying for 55 minutes, so did it really matter? Probably not. If I was going to do it again, I wouldn't mind either way. Aer Lingus brands themselves as a sort of no-frills airline. I think if I was flying on a route any longer, Aer Lingus would be my choice, but again, the price difference meant that, to be honest, I wasn't losing much by flying Aer Lingus. But I got lucky with the fare. Most fares for that day were looking at double what I paid, so maybe bearing that in mind, I would have gone with Ryanair. Overall, they're both great airlines in my opinion, but Aer Lingus certainly wins in this trip report. There's my first trip report since the pandemic, the first big one on my channel. I hope you've enjoyed. If you haven't, tell me why down below. If you did, also tell me why down below. I do plan on making a few of these into the future. It's just a bit of trial and error really. I really enjoyed making it. It was great fun and I love travelling, so I really couldn't complain. From me today, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Last thing I want to say is a big thank you to my first class channel members. From me today, that is all. I'll see you around. Goodbye.